Warning: Please note that this podcast contains strong language and touches on many topics that may not be considered appropriate for a work environment. If you choose to listen to this podcast where you can be overheard, we are not responsible for the consequences of your decision. You've been warned.
Spoilers, people. I am still sick, and we almost were without Noel this week. We all have an X-Chromosome. My name is Bill.
And this is Noel.
We're going to go through and do business. I'm basically going to do all the business because we're going to rage today. There's some rage that Noel needs to get herself ready for, because there's some shit that's happened this week that we need to talk about, and we really needed to make sure to have a female voice for a couple of these things that have popped up. So I'm just going to go through and get everything done with business at hand. First, our sponsor. We are sponsored in part by Copper Frog Games LC, an indie board game company making artistic games for all. Pigment is now available. By the time this podcast comes out, Chiseled is going to be available on Kickstarter on July 23rd. So the Kickstarter will be in the show notes for the full approved Kickstarter address. So this is a Kickstarter. Support our sponsor. Help us show that we actually can do something in regards to this show. Now, also in regards to this show, we want to hear from you. Email us at writeus@xchromosomepodcast.com. That's writeus@xchromosomepodcast.com. That is the best way to give us feedback. Yes, you can go through and mention things in our social media, things like that. But we want to hear your stories, we want to hear your questions. We want to make the show better overall. So again, write us at xchromosomepodcast at again, the email address is writeus@xchromosomepodcast.com. You'll find all of our social media, all our social media links, our Patreon, our one-time donation through PayPal to help us out so we can go through and do a better quality show on our website at www.xchromosomepodcast.com, and go through, join our social media. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have YouTube, we have everything that I can find other than TikTok. But yes, we're not a video format, so that's not going to be something that's going to be going through with that. Finally, really go through and look into our Patreon and the one-time donation. That'll help us with better programming by helping us with paywalls. Go through and make our content better so we can go through and do more research and things of that nature. Did I forget anything?
I don't think you did, other than those of you who... Thank you to our sponsor. Thank you to our Patreon patrons. You people are amazing. What little we managed to get done is, in fact, because of you, and because you believe in us and you give us a reason to keep coming back every week. So thank you for your support.
And coming back every week is not only just technologically or intellectually or just having the overall energy to do this, but episodes like this is going to probably be like an emotionally labor episode. There was a lot of crap that's come through the news, especially very recently, like in the past 48-hour news cycle. This was important that we're going to go through and give a little bit of rage. So just to let everybody know, all the stories that we talk about, we're going to link into our show notes. We might pull up other things during the course of the time, but we've already got the links prepared. There's stuff that needs to be talked about. Let's go through and get things underway. The first thing that, and this is the thing that Noelle was like, all right, I'm tired. I've had a lot of stuff going on with the Ren Fair, but I need to talk about this. It's important that I talk about this. This is about Bianca Devins.
Yeah. Our primary article for this portion is from Rolling Stone. But if you don't know what's going on, it's a big, horrible, messy thing. I'm going to edit some of the shit that Rolling Stone said because, they're trying to cover their asses and I don't give a fuck. Okay, you're going to pop up in another window?
The basic thing is Bianca Devins, 17, asexual teenager, was murdered by basically a stalker.
Yes, she was murdered by a stalker. That's
beheaded, and the pictures of the beheading put on Instagram and other social media.
Because this guy is a fucking monster.
And he's only being charged with second-degree murder.
I mean, I'm supposed to be talking, but I'm that angry that I have to organize my words. She posted on 4chan. She was a talented artist, a loving sister, daughter, and cousin, and a wonderful young girl. She had just graduated from high school and was looking forward to attending a local community college.
To get her degree in psychology, too.
Mm-hmm. She was a sweet person. She always tried to make people feel good, feel loved, help them when they were down, even if she was going through her own shit. This is somebody who is identified as a friend and who self-identifies as somebody who is 20 and named Chels. The suspect, which I don't even know why we're calling him a suspect, he kind of owns it. Language is stupid. His name is Brandon Andrew Clark. He is a resident of Bridgeport, New York. He allegedly posted photos of the murder on his Instagram story. Did somebody else post them? I mean, this is easy to find out because they're probably from his phone. There's probably a signature. You can't get away with shit anymore.
The only way that you could post on Instagram is via a smartphone or a tablet. And I'm not sure even about the tablet because while you can access Instagram on the computer, you can't post anything Instagram on the computer. So yeah, I highly doubt that someone hacked into his account and posted pictures under his account.
I mean, he could claim he was hacked, but he's clearly he's clearly a violent incel. He uses their language. She was talking to somebody on. We use Discord to record. It's a wonderful service. It's super useful.
For people that don't know, Discord is known mostly through gaming circles. A lot of people will go through and Twitch stream through Discord. They'll go through and Noelle's game is done through Discord. I find that a lot of other people are using Discord just for general communication. It reminds me a little bit of Slack, but freely accessible, which is helpful.
Yeah, it's a wonderful service, but it does timestamp the shit out of everything, which is useful. Just watching how social media helped catch him. The Utica police received multiple calls at around 7:20 a.m. from concerned 4chan and Discord users who had seen Clark's posts. They also received a call from Clark himself, who made incriminating statements with respect to the homicide and also was alluding the fact that he was going to harm himself. When an officer approached him, Clark began stabbing himself in the neck. First of all, skip the murdering us and just kill yourself if you're going to do that. Leave us out of it. You're going to do performative murder of somebody. Keep it to yourself. Don't hurt other people. Also, don't kill yourself. Yeah, real talk, suicide is bad. However, if you're planning on murder and you're murdery and angry and feeling violent because a girl didn't like you, please hurt yourself. Or go to the cops, or do literally anything other than murder the girl. Handle your emotions like a grown-up. This article says it's unclear what the precise nature of Clark and Devins' relationship is. On social media, many painted Clark as a lonely, obsessed fan who had stalked Devins and tracked her down at a concert and killed her after she sexually rejected him. This narrative prompted the hashtag RIP Bianca, which went viral, with many claiming the tragedy was an all too familiar story for women who are often terrified of rejecting men for fear of inciting their rage. Yes. People who are close to us are the most likely people to kill us. This is statistics. This is not hyperbole. That includes friends. The people we know.
Brianna Wu, who ran for Congress in Massachusetts, she had posted online on Twitter about this. To the people that say, it's just online. Women should ignore the abuse, they say. Well, it's not online anymore. A 17-year-old girl was stalked through Discord and murdered by a man. He posted pictures of this horror on Instagram. There's something deeply wrong with what we've built.
It's not Discord's fault. It's not Instagram's fault, although they didn't take the fucking pictures down. On forums like 4chan, however, a thread featuring images of a deceased Devins featured posts from users joking about the photos and blaming her for her own murder for flirting with male followers online. She might not have been flirting! Just because we're nice to you doesn't mean we want to have sex with you. Jesus.
I read through Twitter a lot because of the podcast, because I'm trying to open up my own thoughts, experiences, and things like that. It's a shame that a woman cannot be themselves without having to worry about, are they thinking that I'm flirting? There was this one post where a woman said, if I'm trying to be funny, I'm not flirting with you. I'm just proving that I'm funnier than you. And the fact that you have to go through and typeface things of, hey, if I make you laugh, I'm not flirting, I just want to make you laugh. People just can be nice. Stop reading into shit. This is why, as a man, I can understand women being scared with any interactions from any man. Doesn't matter if you're a friend, relative, some person that you only talk to online. it sucks because people can't be open and honest, and not only does this, while this affects women worse, it affects men because men can't feel like they can be open and honest because they're worried about women having to worry. It sucks, but unfortunately, until you can go through and get your shit together and stop this bullshit's gonna keep on going. So, dudes, bros, whatever, stop this fucking shit. I don't want to hear about women getting killed because they were turned down by someone that they thought was flirting. I'm tired of this bullshit.
We're tired of being afraid of people. There's other stuff in here that I'm mining out. There's this comment about she's an aspiring influencer who co-opted aspects of gaming culture in her Instagram persona. She was 17. Gamer culture is literally mainstream for her. There's nothing to co-opt. She's not pretending to be anything. This article about how Instagram can't handle its shit is horrifying. Because people keep posting the pictures, and it's what the fuck is wrong with you people? Stop it. You're disgusting.
I've seen people being horrified about this, not because they're actively trying to find the pictures, but they're just trying to dig more into the case. And then they're clicking links that they think are safe links that are still showing the Instagram or still showing links from 4chan or something like that are showing the pictures. This is horrible. This shouldn't be happening.
I mean, she clearly didn't have a right to herself when she was alive, and you fuckers can't leave her alone. Now, even now, what the fuck is wrong? I just can't. I mean, you can't even give her dignity in death. You have to keep... Ugh, I don't understand it, and I don't really have words. And I don't know how to articulate how horrifying it is, how enraging it is. I just can't.
It's something that is severely fucked up, and to me, it's terrorism on women. The group is guys that are proud to call themselves incels.
I don't even understand. How can you be proud of the fact that you are so socially stunted nobody wants to hang out with you? That's not a point of pride. That's a point of get your fucking shit together, you waste of space. Right? When comedians who, make jokes about dumb guy shit, call out incels for not having the wherewithal to learn a skill to make themselves, interesting so they can get laid. Because I'm talking about Small Town Murder again, but it came up in one of their episodes. They were just appalled at the idea that there are guys out there who don't want to put the effort into figuring out how to attract women, because a lot of these stories deal with people you wouldn't think in 1,000 years would attract anyone. And in some cases, there's this weird multiple partner cheating on exes, horrible, gross, toxic chain of relationships. And it's like, clearly these horrible people can find a relationship. They've got to be doing something right. What is your problem, incels? Rodney Alcala was on the dating game. He's a serial killer. He was clearly personable enough to get through the screening process to get on the show on an episode that aired and win. Stop saying we owe you shit.
Women are not there just to breed with.
We're not objects. She was so adorable. I wish I had her eyeliner skills, let me tell you. And she's not... We can't really make any... I'm not going to make any claims about her being ace, but as a demisexual, I don't just hook up with people. And people who can do that blow my mind. I can't grasp how that works, because I don't operate that way. If she's ace, she's not gonna just randomly hook up with a guy, period, full stop. And so there's a lot of things to unpack about why he's a horrible person. But at the end of the day, he decided to respond to whatever rejection, because clearly he felt rejected based on the language he was using. Based on the fact that he clearly found a way to get her in his car, take her to a secondary location, and kill her. I don't even know. We don't have all of it, but she trusted him enough to get in the car. And you don't behead someone on a whim. That's not something you just, well, I killed her, I guess I'm gonna, mutilate her corpse. No, you don't. I've studied enough true crime at this point to know that you don't even start usually with that level of violence. That's appalling. What else has he done? How do you get to a point where that's an okay response? And what the hell is a 21-year-old doing trying to hit on a 17-year-old? No. It could be worse. He could be older, but not by much. That doesn't fix anything. He's 21. He's out of college age. And this is what he does to a child. I don't care what age of consent in New York is. She's a child. You know, she liked her cat and video games and
She was an artist.
And she's an artist. She just a kid. I mean, the pictures of her, that's a kid. A lot of the flagged photos, this Rolling Stone article about how Instagram is completely incapable of comprehending violence is appalling. Lots of response with the "does not violate our community guidelines" after reporting the pictures for violent content. It's like, while we reviewed the post you reported for violence or threats of violence, found it does not violate our community guidelines. Reports like yours are an important part of making Instagram a safe and welcoming place for everyone. Your algorithms are shit.
He use the same algorithms now as Facebook does. Yes, it's all the same thing.
It should not be that hard. Look, my nips should not be more dangerous or upsetting or in need of moderation than live streaming live streamed footage of the shooting in the mosque in New Zealand or Devins' body. This shouldn't be a thing. She herself said there's so much more violence and abuse around gamer girls than others, it seems. She was like me. She's a girl who liked games, who, enjoyed playing video games. And we all know that there are boys that don't like girls who game and have opinions about gaming, have opinions about anything, really. And who don't feel they exist to be fetishized. This is a really inarticulate episode, but it's because I don't know how to organize my thoughts. But there are so many people I know, friends, who present on the regular as female or look femme enough to draw ire, and then women who are, our first thoughts are, what do we do? What else can we do to protect ourselves? How do we avoid becoming a statistic? I have friends who are guys who would love to meet up at some point. I met them through LARPing. I met them through online gaming. I'm afraid of all of them. I'm afraid to go visit people because of assholes like this guy. I recently went to meet some friends that I met through LARPing. I was scared the whole time on some level. That because several of them were guys, and I was on edge the whole time. And I know these people wouldn't hurt me. but there's still that part of my brain that has to be on alert. It's the same part of my brain that is alert when I go to the grocery store or when I stop to pick up something at CVS between appointments when I'm on the clock, or I go to the mall to get something. It's the same thing that has my head on a swivel when my friend Ilea and I are out at our favorite local dive bar. It's the same instinct that has me never give my full name or give my real name to people when they ask at first. That's something you earn. Because there but for the grace of God, that could have been me. I had a creepy stalker. I've posted about him on Facebook a couple of times. It was profoundly painful. It was life-changing. I thought I saw him at Great Lakes a few seasons ago, well over a decade after he made me afraid for my life and cornered me in his dorm room alone with no clear way out except my wits and keeping my shit together long enough to talk my way out and get downstairs to my room so I could call security again and get help because clearly something was going to go wrong. I thought I saw him walk into our booth. It took me 2 days to calm down. So, dear listeners, you know someone who had a close brush. Even if you don't think you do, you do. And it's only gotten worse since 2001. Now they're just straight up killing us. We're not getting chances to run away. We don't want to be scared of you. And it's appalling and frustrating on every comment string to find guys. There's like, but no, but it's not all of us. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Unless you are actively addressing the problem, you are part of the problem.
And I'm going to point out when I say yes, it is, I'm including myself into this because I'm a big dude. People are scared of me just because of that. So I have to think 3 times as much of how I do anything when I'm around anybody because of this. Because while I might be in some circles considered safe, people don't know that. So I have to assume that you're going to think the worst. And I have to live with that. Because of shitheads like this dude. So, yes, all men. Myself included.
It's so... I mean, there's other stuff we need to get to, but this is just so distressing. Oh god. Now I'm looking at pictures of this fucko. And he looks exactly like the kind of fucko that I would run away from.
Let's
avoid.
Let's go through and move into a couple of other things because this was the most potent thing, but the other stuff sucks.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have another warning. But we do have a story to end on a good note. That thank God. At least
Yes,
it makes me cackle.
There's been some goodness in the world. It makes me happy. It makes me happy too.
All right.
Our closer.
So
let's go on to bitterness.
All right.
From wrath.
Bitterness and wrath. This was posted shortly before we came on the air. Trump abortion restrictions go in effect immediately.
I don't even know how that fucking works.
Basically, Health and Human Services has basically said, if you take any tax money from us, you can't refer to abortions. And because there's nothing that says that we have to listen while the court is going on, we're going to put it into effect immediately. So basically, it's Trump's Health and Human Services giving the finger to Planned Parenthood.
And, anyone with a uterus.
And anyone with a uterus.
It's just ridiculous. The money doesn't go. Federal funding doesn't cover that procedure. It never has covered that procedure. There's literal wording in it that says it can't. So I don't know what they're doing besides.
Basically, they're making it harder for women to be able to go through and get an abortion, especially for those that are low income, don't have easy access to doctors, and things of that nature. So
keep the poor poor.
Yep, keep the poor poor. All that Republicans care about is, and it's Republicans that are fighting this mostly. I'm sorry. All they care about is the fetus. They don't care about anything afterwards. So
they don't even they don't even particularly care about the fetus per se. They don't
care about the fetus when it's their mistress.
Let me finish my thought.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing they care about is exerting control over what a woman is defined as. They want to control language. They want to control society by controlling, even the discussion. It's to keep women from getting it. Not all women, not all uteruses belong to women. But by forcing the language of the debate and making it about, and not making space for it, everybody is doing a disservice to non-woman uterus-bearing individuals or non-female identifying uterus-bearing individuals, however we want to say it. It's telling more than just people like me that we don't have any right to our bodies. It's telling anyone with a uterus that you're not a person. And that's so much bigger than, we want to consider. You have a uterus, you don't have any right to your body. I can't remove that. You might want to use it, sir. No, take this thing away. I don't want it. Oh no, it's still functional. You have to keep it. No, it's literally killing me. Oh no, we have to do a whole bunch of bullshit, and it's not covered by insurance. But it's a life-saving procedure. It's not covered by insurance. What? And now they're making it even harder, and people are going to die.
Yep.
Which is what they want.
Which goes into more racist against women type issues. I'm not going to go through and completely repeat Trump's racist remarks against.
Because they're appalling.
against Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Anaya. I butcher all these freaking names.
Okay.
Ayanna Priestley, Ihan Omar, and Rashida Tlaib. I apologize for the butchery that I went through with those names. One of these reps, Representative Presley, is one of my reps in Massachusetts. She's not my direct rep. I have a Katrina Clark, I believe, but she's a Massachusetts rep. So recently, the House Democrats voted basically condemning Donald Trump's racist attacks. It was voted down party lines, and it passed with 233 Democrats voting yay, 190 Republicans voting nay on this, and the House Minority Leader, Representative Kevin McCarthy of California, Republican. I believe this is about ideology. This is about socialism versus freedom.
It's about Trump is a fucking racist.
And needs to be fucking called out on it.
And needs to be fired. I mean, I'm going to settle for him being censured by the House, but we need to do a little bit more than that.
Like fire him out of cannon and then destroy the cannon because of it being tainted by Trump?
Yeeted into the sun, I believe, is the phrase. I will say yeet the rich, which is a handy-dandy new thing.
So now they have to make one. Now that gun company that makes the yeet cannon needs to make a Trump-sized one to yeet him into the sun.
We should not. We should not advocate any of this. We're not. Please.
No. I'm not saying shoot Trump. I'm saying shove him into a giant gun and shoot him into the sun.
I mean, point of order, that is shooting, but our lovely agents of our lovely NSA agents. Hi, we know you're listening. Thanks for listening to the show. Please like and subscribe.
Make it easier to know when we're coming up. So yeah.
So it's it'll just make it easier for you to stalk us. We are not advocating murdering the president. We are not advocating murder, but hurling him into the sun is a good idea.
We want him removed from president, then hurled into the sun.
Yes, we would like. We would like the criminal to be arrested, please. Could you do something about that? I mean, he is a security risk. I believe the phrasing is clear and present danger to our national security.
Well, enough about Trump. Let's talk about
another sexist bastard, another sexist asshole. Are we talking about James Bond now?
No, that's going to be last.
Okay. I was excited. I had a good segue into that article, and
this is something that popped through on the Facebooks from Twitter, or I think it might be from Tumblr. Yeah, it looks like Tumblr. Gender Punk SAP wrote this. This is from a Tumblr post. This is about the possible film called Adam.
That.
Yeah, do not support Adam when the film comes out. I've talked about this before on this blog, but this is the most disgustingly transphobic and lesbophobic narrative that I have come across. Trigger warnings. transphobia, homophobia, lesbiophobia, corrective rape, voyeurism. The book Adam by Ariel Schrag is being turned into a movie, which has been named one of the most exciting LGBTQ films of the year. You should
By
know,
who?
you should know before watching that the book is about a cis boy who pretends to be a trans man in order to persuade lesbians to sleep with him. Yes, you read that right. Book plot summary. Boy spies on his lesbian sister having sex. Boy decides to pretend to be a trans man. Gross. I.e., pretends to have a vagina because he thinks that lesbians will want him then. He literally wants to fuck lesbians because he watches lesbian sister have sex. What the fuck? He does get a lesbian to sleep with him, straps his penis down using an ace bandage, and uses a strap-on. All the
This
other
is so much work for a deception. I mean,
all the actual trans dudes we meet basically identify as lesbians. This basically implies that trans men are not real men. Lesbians, i.e. women. Another time they have sex again, only he uses his actual penis, but tells her it's a strap-on.
which is rape by deception.
Rape.
Yes, that's rape by deception, and it's crime. Don't do it.
She didn't consent to an actual penis. He confesses that he's been lying to her the whole time, but she doesn't break up with him. She even says it's okay. She's fantasized about him being, quote-unquote, a real boy. That's a direct quote. Massive transphobia. Huge. Not to mention that this is now the lesbian is cured by dick trope.
I have never met a dick that was able to cure anyone of anything.
He leaves New York. They're long distance. They get in an argument, and he calls her a slut and a whore, and amongst other things. And then she dumps him. Eventually, they get back in touch, and she has a new cis boyfriend. So, yep, she's been quote unquote cured. Woo! She actually straight, and he helped her realize that. Yay! Massive sarcasm. This is deeply transphobic to imply that our identities are just costumes for other people to put on erases who we are as people. More than that, it implies it is done to trick people to having sex is a dangerous lie that literally gets us killed.
Yes, it absolutely gets people killed.
There is unfortunately this was from a graphic, so I don't have the link, but here is a review from the book by a trans man. I've yet to find one lesbian, but we'll edit this if I do. This book gives out incredibly harmful notions about trans men and lesbians that are used to hurt them in real life. It is so entrenched in the narrative that doesn't see how the film can be any better. I do not say any of this lightly. It's very, very rare for me to call out a piece of fiction or for me to decide that a story is unfixable. But there's no excuse for the bigotry in this. I'd like to tell people to boycott it, but I can't tell you what to do. So instead, I'm going to ask you to share this because it's being named as an exciting new LGBTQ film is going to be making LGBTQ teens want to see it. They should know beforehand how hurtful it could be. They should be able to they got cut off. Don't make queer kids see this film, believing it will represent them only to expose this hatred of their identity. And another thing that basically this is a book/movie that caters to TERFs because it basically proves to TERFs what TERFs are always saying. And
trans people aren't real, which we all know is a fucking lie.
And what is worse, from something else that I had went through and saw, that this is supposed to be a comedy.
There's nothing funny about rape by deception.
There is zero things funny about rape by deception. This is complete and utter bullshit. And if you see anything about Adam, I have all the information has been posted on our Facebook. So you go through and read those yourself. Feel free to share because people need to know this. I know I wouldn't unless I had been looking for things like this. However, let's go into a little bit of good film news.
Okay, now I can talk about him, right?
Yep.
Daniel Craig is passing the torch
to a black woman.
You know, she was in something cool recently, so let's.
Yep, she was.
Yeah, she was.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she was in Captain Marvel. Lashana Lynch. She played. What was remember her character name in Captain Marvel? The other badass woman in Captain Marvel, not named Captain Marvel. But it's this fantastic. We get to change. We're getting to change everything. The new creator is super excited. She's allegedly
Maria Rambeau.
Yeah, there we go. Yes, Maria Rambeau. That's who she was in Captain Marvel. It's on the set of Bond 25, the phrase "Bond girl" is verboten, which is good because it was gross. The preferred term is Bond woman, which is a superior term.
And this makes me cackle with glee. On a personal note, so this is why I will be seeing the movie. One of Umbridge's top 3 fandoms are, unfortunately, to some people listening to this, Doctor Who, Outlander, and James Bond. She hated any type of fiction that made it a female Bond. And when there was a rumor of a black male James Bond, she threw a fit. So the combination of factors just makes me cackle glee.
So she's racist and sexist.
And Republican.
Well, I mean, I thought but we repeat ourselves.
And voted for Trump.
But we repeat ourselves.
But yeah,
please don't die.
But I'm dying of happiness.
No, because I mean, you'd be kind of difficult to replace too.
But yes, score 1 for the Bond franchise because it's great because the director came on and basically went, yeah, we're making these changes. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is coming to say, we're doing this now. We're keeping this focused because they're not girls, they're women. And Daniel Craig is going bye-bye after this. So
yes. I mean, I appreciated his Bond, but
so we ended that on a good note. Even though it was a lot of rage in a cage, but
I mean, there's a lot to be angry about.
But we can't be angry all the time. We have to think of the good things.
Yeah, and the fact that we are modernizing things in traditionally masculine spaces are fantastic. And James Bond is one of the bastions of traditional masculinity.
I've always, even before Umbridge, I always hated James Bond. Just something about the genre, I guess, just was like oil and water to me.
It's skeezy, yeah.
But this, I'll go see just to support the new 007.
Yeah,
right.
It's worth throwing money at just for that.
Yep. So that being said, we don't have a outro. Make sure to visit us on our website, xchromosomepodcast.com. Again, all of our social media is there. Also, we want to hear from you, good, bad, ugly, or anything. Write us at xchromosomepodcast.com. That email address again is write us at xchromosomepodcast.com.
Please include, about our email address. Please include with your email if you give us permission to read it on the air, because I will do that. We want to share your stories if you're comfortable with that happening.
And we just want to question our existence. We will question yours back.
Yes. So, I guess our outro is going to be is going to be a weird question. Because we didn't say to put it in the review on your podcast platform or anything, relevant like that. But our Pop-Tarts ravioli.
Our Pop-Tart? No!
No! That, get out, Craig. Get out.
No.
Yes. Why not? Tell us why. Write the show. Tell us why. Good night, Craig. Get out.
I will write a thesis about this next week. Get out, Craig.